So, Hare Krishna. So, today we are starting with Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, the opulence of the absolute. Okay. So, before we start the class, let us take the blessings of the beautiful deities of Sri Radha Govindji, Sri Radha Govind Iki Jai. So, this is what we saw yesterday in chapter 9. So, hearing about Krishna, what are the qualifications and disqualifications, and Aishwarya Gnana, opulences of Krishna. What is like Krishna's Achintya Beda Ved relationship with the material world? So, it is like though everything is under, what does this mean? That though he is not directly involved with the material world, he is involved through his energies. Okay. So 9.11 to 9.15, we see non-worshippers and the worshippers. Okay, the demigods and all those people. So 9.16 to 9.25, we see that Krishna is the supreme object of worship. And 9.26 to 34, we see the glories of directly worshipping Krishna. So today we'll see, we'll start chapter 10. So 1 to 7, probably we'll see if we can complete because there are a lot of topics to be discussed. And today that's the reason we have to read a lot of Prabhupada purports to cover everything. So I just don't want to skip. So let's take time and let's complete it. Okay. So 10.1 to 7, Krishna's position as the origin of everything. And 8 to 11, we'll see that's the main important. It's like the gist of the Bhagavad Gita in 4 shlokas. That is called the Chatur Shloka. And 10.12 to 10.42, Arjuna's acceptance and his request. Okay, now let's see the synopsis of chapter 10. Okay, so what are the topics that are covered in this? So Lord Krishna, what did he say? I mean, like in the end of 9th chapter, he advises to fix his mind on him. So we saw the last shloka, right? 9.34. Manmana bhava mad bhakto mad yaji mam namaskuru mam evaishyasi yuktvaivam atmana mat parayanaha. So he says that you engage your mind in me. Okay, so now in the second point, what are they saying? How can you engage your mind on him, on Krishna? Through that is what is said in this chapter. Okay, Krishna discusses about his opulences, more of his opulences. So earlier we saw in chapter 7, he tells about his material and spiritual energies. So that is some of a part of his opulence. Now Krishna gives some more opulences. Okay. So let's see what they are, so that we can meditate. So that when we can see Krishna's opulences, like for instance, if we see something opulent, something powerful, something beautiful, so then we can immediately remember Krishna. Like for instance, if you see a beautiful rose, then you say, "Oh, this rose is so beautiful." Then how beautiful is Krishna then? So we just compare everything to like that. When you see the opulences of this material world, so you remember Krishna. And then in the conclusion of chapter 9, we saw that is that of one should become a pure devotee of the Lord by focusing the mind on the Lord. So that is the last shloka, right? So what else? Chapter 9 deal about pure unalloyed devotion. So it gives knowledge about how you can become a pure unalloyed devotee. And what chapter 10, we know now that we are going to discuss about the opulences. So focuses on description of Krishna's opulences by hearing. So that is important. So the more you hear about Krishna, the more knowledge you'll get and the more determined you'll be to engage in devotional service of the Lord. So you'll have more faith on Krishna the more you hear. See, if you want to know more, if you don't know anything about a person, you will not have faith on that person. But the more you talk to him, the more you get to know him, the more then you'll get confidence. Oh yeah, this person can do that work. Yeah, he can do it, like that. So the hearing is more important. Know more about that person. Okay. So Krishna says here, now I'm going to talk about my opulences. Okay. So by hearing, what will happen? Hearing more and more about Krishna, our devotion will increase. Okay. So 10.1 to 7, we saw, right, Krishna's position as the origin of everything. And 8 to 11 is Chatur Shloka. And 12 to 42 is Arjuna's acceptance and his request to show opulences. Okay. So now, in section 8, and 1 to 7, again it is divided into 3 parts. So 1 to 3, we see that anyone knowing Krishna as the unborn Supreme Lord and the source of all sages and demigods is undiluted and free from sin. Okay, so those who know that Krishna is unborn, okay, people generally think that Krishna is material, he's born like all of us. Okay, but those who know that he's unborn, okay, he is the unborn Supreme Lord and he's the source of all the sages and demigods. Okay, actually the sages and the demigods all come from him. So those who know this they become free from sin. That's what is covered in 1 to 3. Okay, let's see in detail again. And 4 to 6, this is the biggest part actually today. Qualities are there. Qualities of that free us from qualities and attitudes, freedom from illusion, self-control and infamy are created by Krishna. So even the progenitors of the universe are born from his mind. So we'll see what are those qualities, okay, that differentiate us, like how do we come to a true understanding. So 7, we'll see that those who know Krishna's glories engage in his service. So obviously when we know that Krishna is great, obviously we surrender to him, right? So here also in this material world, if we know that there is a great politician who can help us in our work, we just go and bow down before him, right? So that he can help us out with some project or something, in giving us permission or something, so that that work can be done. So like that, when we know Krishna is the greatest of the greatest, he is the cause of all causes, then automatically we bow down to Krishna. We start doing devotional service to Krishna. See, when do we do service to Krishna? When we accept it's not accept, when out of love we engage in devotional service, right? So that is all. Now let's see, let's start from 10.1. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Bhuya eva mahabaho Shrunu me paramam vachaha Yatte aham priyamanaya Vakshami hita kamyaya. The Supreme Lord said, My dear friend, mighty armed Arjuna, listen again to my supreme word, which I shall impart to you for your benefit and which will give you great joy. Okay, so here Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada says in the purport, they're calling Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. So what does Bhagavan mean? Okay, Parasara Muni, who's the father of Vyasadeva, he says that, what do you mean by the word Bhagavan? Bhagavan means one who is full in 6 opulences. So what are the 6 opulences? One who has full strength, full fame, wealth, knowledge, beauty, and renunciation. So one who has all these 100%, each of these 6 opulences in 100% full is called Bhagavan. So he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, so Krishna, when he was present on earth, he showed all these opulences. Okay, like what? See, he showed full strength. He lifted the Govardhan mountain, right, for 7 days, that too on his left hand, with his left small finger. He lifted the Govardhan hill for 7 days and he killed many big demons. So we know Krishna's strength. So full fame. So we know we worship Krishna till date. So who can be more famous than Krishna, right? And wealth. Krishna is the richest person. How do we know that? He built 16,108 palaces for all his 16,108 queens. And those palaces also, they were all studded with gems and jewels and stones, pearls and everything. So we can know that how much wealthy, how much rich Krishna is. Knowledge. So we know Krishna has given us the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so we can understand Krishna's knowledge. See, this knowledge he just gave to Arjuna within a span of 30 minutes or 40 minutes. But for us, even though we read it and try to understand for years and years also, we can't understand this Bhagavad Gita. So much Krishna is in knowledge. Beauty. So we know that Krishna is like Sachidananda, his Swarupa is Sachidananda. He looks so beautiful. Okay? He's the most beautiful. And renunciation. So we know that Krishna is so renounced, he's not attached to anybody. Like for example, we see that when he had to go and fight along with Akrura, and the gopis were not allowing him to go, so he showed his renunciation that he could renounce the gopis, but the gopis were not able to renounce Krishna. So there he left them and he went along with Akrura. So it shows that he is not, he is renounced. Okay. So all these are there in full in Krishna. Okay. So that's why great sages like Parasara Muni have accepted Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So now, actually, see, in the 7th chapter, we see Krishna explains his material energy. Some of his opulence is there. His material energy and spiritual energy. And now, in this chapter, Krishna will explain some more of his specific opulences. Okay, and in the previous chapter also we saw how he explained, right, in 8th chapter the different energies. 7th he explained his different energies. How in 9th the knowledge, what is the 9th chapter? The knowledge using these material energies. When you know that Krishna is the source of these material energy and spiritual energy, so you understand that Krishna is so great. He's the cause of all causes. He's the maintainer. Though he's not directly related to this material world, it is he who is sustaining, who through his energies, he's sustaining, he's controlling, he's maintaining, he's doing everything. Because nothing can run independent of him. Okay, so when we know that, what do? We obviously surrender to him. And we do devotional service. So in the last chapter, we came to know that the most confidential knowledge is how to become a pure devotee of the Lord. Okay, with that knowledge, we come to know how to become a pure devotee of the Lord. And here, more stress is given to Shrunu. Because what does Krishna say? Listen. Okay, listen again to my supreme word. Okay, so Krishna is stressing on Shrunu, hear. Okay, so the more one hears about Supreme God, the more one becomes fixed in devotional service. So one should always hear about the Lord in the association of devotees. So that will enhance one's devotional service. So it is said that you should listen in the association of devotees. Okay? Because generally, discourses in the society of devotees can take place among those who are really anxious to be in Krishna consciousness. Because that is why we have satsangs, right? So that we can hear more about Krishna. And who will come to satsang generally? So like-minded people like us who want to hear about Krishna. So that is why it is said when we are in association, we will automatically develop that interest to hear more and more. Okay? So, whatever be the case, we should never leave association. Okay? So, we should never think that I am so elevated, I can do everything by myself. Not like that. So, we should always be in association of devotees and continue our practice of devotional service. So, the Lord clearly tells Arjuna that because Arjuna is very dear to him, that is why he is giving these classes. Okay, so now let's see in chart form how it is explained. The same thing is explained here again. See, Lord Krishna asks us to listen carefully as he will reveal more wonderful knowledge about his opulences. So earlier we saw part of his opulences about his material and spiritual energies he told. Now he will explain in this chapter some more of his opulences. Okay, so in chapter 7 we saw his different energies and how they are acting. And in chapter 9 what we saw, with those energies, how we can do a devotional service in firm conviction, how we can become unalloyed devotees. So that is said in chapter 9. Now in chapter 10, Krishna will tell about some more of his specific opulences and his work. Okay, and Krishna also stresses the importance of hearing. So the eagerness to hear. Okay, the more you hear, the more you will get fixed up in devotional service. That is why Krishna is asking, hear, listen. That is very important. So how you should listen? You should listen in the association of like-minded devotees who are really anxious. They want to know more and more about Krishna. Just like Arjuna's qualification, just like Arjuna, he wanted to learn. That's why he accepted Krishna as his guru. So he wanted to learn, know. So now Krishna says that you are very dear to me. That is why I want to give you this knowledge on the opulences. Okay. So now let's go to second shloka. Name vidu suraganaha prabhavam na maharshayah aham adirhi devanam maharshinam cha sarvashaha. So neither the hosts of demigods nor the great sages know my origin, for in every respect I am the sources of the demigods and sages. So here Krishna is saying, see, the sages and the demigods, they don't know me. Okay, why don't they know me? Because I am the source of all the demigods. And after he created the demigods and the sages, actually from him, the demigods and sages have come. Okay, so let's just give you a small example. Let's see, our father, my father knows the child completely 100%, but the child just knows how much about the father, maybe 70%. Okay, because he did not see him entirely. Okay, maybe he saw him from when he was 30 years or 25 years, so not completely. So he doesn't know about the father completely. So maybe he knows about 80%, like that. And how about the father's father, his grandfather? How much does he know? Maybe he knows 50%. And about his father, great grandfather, maybe he knows 40%, 30%, and great grandfather maybe very less, 10%. And like that when you go to Krishna, so how much do we know about Krishna? It is like decreasing, right? The knowledge is very less, so we don't know. So like that, Krishna is saying, since I am the creator of all the sages and I am their origin, of all the demigods, I know everything about them. But they don't know everything about me because I am the creator and they're born after me. Okay, so that is what Krishna is saying. Here, what Krishna is, like Prabhupada tries to say in the purport is, see, all these people, these great sages and demigods, they don't know Krishna. Like not all the demigods. We know some demigods worship Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. Okay, so we can see in the picture, right? So it is not that. And there are some demigods who think Krishna is like impersonal. God is impersonal because they, after all, demigods are living entities, right? Even they tend to speculate, even because they have imperfect senses, imperfect mind, imperfect knowledge they have. So they tend to speculate that maybe Krishna is impersonal. And even the sages we saw, right, Gnanis, they, what do they say? They say God is impersonal. That is the highest stage. They want to merge into the impersonal Brahman. Okay, so they don't have clear understanding. So that is what Krishna is saying. See, the demigods and sages themselves are not able to understand me as Krishna, the supreme personality of Godhead. And what about these so-called tiny scholars of this planet, scientists, philosophers? What will they be able to understand me? Okay, they will not be able to understand. So Krishna is saying here, so Prabhupada says that we can understand Lord only through bhakti, not by our mental speculation. Okay, so if you want to do understand Krishna, so we only way is devotional service or bhakti, not by our so-called mundane intelligence, or we are scholars or intelligent. We can dive deep and we can research and find more about Krishna. No, not like that. So only through bhakti can we know, can Krishna help us know more about him. So it is through the mercy of Krishna that we can know more about Krishna, not by our own intelligence. Okay. So that is why Krishna is saying, see, neither the host, neither the demigods, nor the great sages, they know everything. They don't know everything about me because they have come after me. Because he created from him, right? All these demigods and sages have come after him. He was the first. He was there even before the creation, right? When the creation started, then first Brahma came, and through Brahma, all these demigods, sages, everybody came. So not they all don't know Krishna, but Krishna knows all of them. So that is what Krishna is trying to say here. Yo mam ajam anadim cha veti lokam maheshwaram asammudha samartyeshu sarva papaihi pramuchyate. He who knows me as the unborn, as the beginningless, as the supreme Lord of all the worlds, he, undeluded among men, is freed from all sins. Okay, so here, what is Krishna saying? Those who know me as the unborn. So unborn means in the shloka they're saying Aja. Krishna is Aja. He is unborn. So what does he mean by unborn? See, the Lord is different from the living entities. See, we are born. We take birth and birth, right, from the womb of a mother. But for Krishna, uh, and there's this process of birth and death, and then we change a body in the next birth, right? But Krishna, though he comes to this material world, he comes with the same body. There is no change of body for him. He is like unborn. He comes as the unborn. Though it may look that he's being born as a child, he is unborn. He comes with the same transcendental body. Not like after we die, we change a body and we take a new body. Not like that. Whenever comes to this material world, he comes with the same spiritual Satchidananda Swarupa. Okay, so that we should understand. So Krishna is unborn, though he appears to be taking birth like a common man. He is unborn. So that who knows, Krishna is saying he is freed from sins. And next quality, what Krishna says is beginningless. Okay. Okay, so let's see. He is like he beginningless means there is no what do you say end. I mean, like start, and he's the Adi Purusha. Okay, so he is the first creator. So he is beginningless. He has no, what do you say? Saying that he's the. I mean, like there is at some point it started, at some point it ended. Nothing like that. So he is the beginningless. So he is the first point of creation. Before creation, he existed. So he is beginningless. Okay, he is Anadim. He is there from a long time. We don't know when. Okay. And then next they are saying Veti Loka Maheshwaram. Okay. So we should know Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. What does that mean? Krishna is the supreme proprietor of all the planetary systems of the universe. So it means that he was existing before the creation. But he is different from the creation. So we saw, right, how he is different because he controls this creation through his energies. Okay. So all the demigods were created within this material world. But everybody was created after he created the material world. But as far as Krishna is concerned, he is not created. He is there before the creation. He is Anadim. He is like beginningless. He is there from a long time. Okay, so he is not like the demigods, even like Brahma and Shiva are there, right? So even he is the source of Brahma and Shiva also. Okay, so and because he is the creator of Brahma and Shiva and all other demigods, he is the supreme person of all planets. He is Prapitamaha. He is the great grandfather. Brahma is the Pitamaha, right? So he created Brahma. So Krishna is Prapitamaha and Brahma is Pitamaha. Okay, he is the supreme. Krishna is the supreme person of all planets. So those, okay. So those who understand this concept about Krishna, but because why Krishna is saying unborn? Because many people say, they think that, see, how can you say that Krishna is unborn? He is born, like people say that Krishna is known as the son of Devaki. So now, how can we say that he is unborn? So that is also explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. Actually, when Krishna appeared in this material world, he didn't appear from the womb of Devaki as normal baby. He comes in his four-handed Vishnu form. Okay, and then on the request of Devaki and Vasudev, he transforms into a small normal baby, ordinary child. Okay, so that is the proof that he is not an ordinary person. He's Supreme Personality of Godhead. He comes in his Vishnu 400 form. Okay, so that is, we have to understand that. So those who understand all of this, like Krishna is unborn, he is beginningless, he is the Supreme Lord of the all worlds. He undiluted means he knows the facts clearly. Undiluted means he's not confused. He has that clear understanding now. He knows that Krishna is unborn, he is beginningless, he is supreme. So such kind of people, are freed from all sins. Okay, so that is the understanding. We should not think that Krishna is a material person. Okay, so that's what they're trying to say in this thing to prove. When he says unborn, he comes as actually into this material world as four-handed form of Vishnu, and then transforms based on the request of his parents. He becomes an ordinary child, and he is beginningless. Even before the creation happened, he was there. Anadim, he was there. And he's the, we saw, right? He's the cause of all causes, the supreme lord of all these spiritual and material worlds. Okay. So that is why those who know this about Krishna is certainly freed from all sins. So this is the big part actually. See, it's a big thing where all the qualities are described. Okay. So all these various qualities of living beings are created by me alone. So he's describing all these actually are the opulences which through which the living entities are being created by me alone. Okay, so let's see what goes on. Buddhir Jnanam Asammohaha Kshama Satyam Damasamaha Shamaha Sukam Dukkam Bhavo Abhavo Abhavo Bhayam Cha Abhayam Eva Cha. That is 10.4. Ahimsa Samata Tushtis Tapodanam Yasho Ayashaha Bhavanti Bhava Bhutanam Matta Eva Prutakvidaha. So, what are the qualities? Intelligence, knowledge, freedom from doubt and delusion, forgiveness, truthfulness, control of the senses and control of the mind, happiness and distress, birth, death, fear, fearlessness, non-violence, equanimity, satisfaction, austerity, charity, fame and infamy. All these various qualities of living beings are created by me alone. See, actually, all these are created by God. What all these qualities we have read now are created by Krishna himself. So let us see what is each, what does it mean? Okay, so now let's see intelligence. First one Krishna says is he created is the qualities is intelligence, buddhir. So the power to analyze things in their proper perspective. So through intelligence only we decide right what is good or what is bad, and then we take the right decision. So that intelligence comes into picture. And knowledge is gnanam, knowing the distinction between matter and spirit. Okay, and academically, we know academically, I mean, like education wise, they only in this material world, they only talk about matter. Okay, so what is true knowledge? So knowledge is knowing the distinction between matter and spirit. So we, all of us, what do we think before we came to Krishna consciousness? We all thought that we are just this body, and we did all sorts of activities to give comfort to this body. So we used to, maintain our hair, maintain our body, maintain our skin, everything, maintain our health, everything. So we do only for the body. But what is true knowledge? True knowledge is knowing the distinction, the difference between matter and spirit. So we should know that we are not this body. We are the spirit. We are soul. Okay. But what happens, that we should know. But academically, what happens in this material world? What is only taught? Do we see universities that talk about soul? No, right? So they give only education that is pertaining to matter, where we can just, satisfy our bodily needs. See, we study, we get a job so that we get money. But what do we do with that money? We use it for our bodily needs, right? We uh, um, try to live comfortably, thinking that this itself is the end of life. This body is itself the end of life. This itself, making this body live comfortably is the goal of life. That's what we think. Okay, so that is not true knowledge. True knowledge is we are soul. Okay, so we have to, what do you say, um, do activities pertaining to the soul also. Okay, now third, freedom from doubt and delusion. Asamoha can be achieved when one acts without hesitation based on the understanding transcendental philosophy. So nothing should be accepted blindly. See, asamoha means, see, when one is in doubt, so we should not, like, if a person says a particular point, so we should not blindly accept it. Okay, so we should understand it through that transcendental philosophy. Where is this point given in the scriptures? Is it following the Guru's Shastra and all that? What do you, Guru Sadhu Shastra. Is it following that? So we have to understand the philosophy based on all these. Okay, so slowly but surely he becomes free from bewilderment. Okay, he gets released from all these confusions slowly, because as he reads the scriptures, he listens to the Guru, he comes to a clear understanding. Okay, so nothing we should accept blindly. So everything should be accepted with care and caution. Okay, so next is Shama, tolerance and forgiveness. So we should practice Shama. That's very important. So we should be tolerant and we should excuse the minor offenses of others. We should be always in the mood of forgiving others. Okay, Satyam, truthfulness means what facts presented as they are for the benefit of others, not distort truth for some personal interest. See, some people they tell the truth only if it is palatable, like it's good to hear, but that is not the case. See, sometimes we may not like the truth, but still we have to tell it to others. We should not hide it. Okay, so we should not twist and turn it for our personal interest. Okay, like Prabhupada, initially when he went to the West, when he tried to establish ISKCON, everybody said, Prabhupada, if you can write this as, instead of Krishna consciousness, if you can write it as God consciousness, you will have many more devotees. But Prabhupada said, I don't want many more devotees. I want to establish, see, if I put it as God, they will think any person as God. But I am firmly convinced that God, Krishna is God. So that is why I want to put Krishna consciousness. So though people liked it or not, he went with the fact. So we should not try to twist the truth and just cover it up and do it because it's hurting others. No, we should try to, as far as possible, we should present the truth as it is, even though sometimes it may hurt the others, but it is for their benefit. Okay, so we should be truthful. So control of senses, Dhamma. Senses should not be used for unnecessary personal personal enjoyment. Okay, so we should use our senses. We should not use it for unnecessary things like going to watching TV serials or going to movies, parties. So we should not waste our time. Use our senses in all these. We should not give importance to all this. See, as it is, we have a lot of garbage in our this thing. So by going and attaching to material things more, we are increasing our what do you say, anarthas, or that dirt is increasing. So we should try to reduce that by connecting spiritually. Okay. Control of the mind, Sama. Restrain the mind from unnecessary thoughts like money, Power of thought should be developed in association with Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. So mind should be controlled. So you should not have unnecessary thoughts like you're pondering and thinking about how to earn money, even while sleeping in the night, how I can make more profit, like that. So that is like Prabhupada says in the purport that it's a misuse of thinking power. So what should the mind think about? Okay, it should think about what is my goal, how I can reach, go back to Godhead. So that the mind should think. For that, what should I do? How can I progress? How can I reach, go back to Godhead in this birth itself? What should I do for that? So that is written in the Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. You have to follow what is written in the Shastras on the guidance of Guru and Sadhu. And happiness and distress, sukham, dukkham, always considered in relation to what is favorable or unfavorable to Krishna consciousness. Okay, so what is happiness? When you accept things that are favorable to Krishna consciousness, that is happiness. Distress is anything that is unfavorable to Krishna consciousness is distress. It is dukkham. Okay, so we should not do it. So now let's see further qualities. Birth, bhavaha, abhavaha. So here it means that birth means generally it is of our body, but we are not this body, right? We are for a soul, but and for soul there is no birth and death. Okay, it is eternal. Next, fearlessness, abhayam. So here, um, the devotees are fearless. Why? Because they know that they are doing devotional service now. So after their death, they know they will go back to Godhead. So they know their destiny. So they don't fear. They are not scared of death. But the materialistic persons, they are fearful because they don't know. They must have done so many sins. So they don't know what body they are going to get, where they are going to go. So they are full of anxiety. Okay, so the best way is even when they are living in this world, also they're full of anxiety. They want to earn money, they have so many material desires. Oh, who will seize my property? Who will steal my bank balance? So they're always like, what will happen to my son? What will happen to my daughter? What will happen to my parents? What will happen to them if I'm not there? So all these anxieties they'll have in this these materialistic persons, but those who take shelter of Krishna, they are fearless. Okay, they depend on Krishna for everything. They know whatever Krishna is the Supreme Father, whatever He does for us is the best for us. Even though it may appear like it is hurting us, but it is the best for us. Okay, so they are fearless. Even after death, even during death, they don't fear death because they know, I mean, all their life they have been serving Krishna. And they know that after their death, they will anyway go and serve Krishna. So they are fearless. Okay. Non-violence, ahimsa, not do anything which would put others in misery, confusion, distress. So not checking anyone's progressive lives. So what is non-violence is actually, no, generally non-violence is we think physically like we are killing animals and causing pain to them. But even through our, and not even that also, sometimes we think that through our words we harshly speak to others. Okay, that is also non-violence. But here, what they are saying, actual non-violence is when you are not prohibited from going to what you say, your Krishna consciousness, you are able to practice properly. That is real non-violence. Okay, what is violence? If somebody is causing obstruction in your following Krishna consciousness, that is causing violence. Non-violence is if you are happily able to continue your practice of Krishna consciousness. Okay, that is non-violence. So, what is equanimity? That is samatha. It refers to freedom from attachment and aversion. So, we should not be, we should be free from attachment and what is this? Hate. So we should not be worried about attachment means we are too attached to all these sense gratification and all that. And our aversion is like you don't want all the pains of the material world. You only want the comforts. So we should not be attached to these two. Okay. Either too much attachment or too much detachment or to these is not good. Okay. So the material world should be accepted without attachment or aversion. So what the best way is, see, instead of getting attached to getting attached in the sense we want to enjoy our senses. So instead of using all the things that are there in the material world for our sense gratification, when we change that and use it for the senses of Krishna, then we get detached. Okay, so that is favorable. That is the correct way. Okay. So a person in Krishna consciousness has nothing to reject and nothing to accept, right? So everything in the material world is given by Krishna. So he is using it in Krishna's service. So nothing is his, and he has got nothing from that. Okay. So he's like detached. He is not attached also. Okay. Like that. Next is tushti, satisfaction. So here, a devotee, he is like happy with whatever Krishna gives. He does not want more. He does not ask for more. He thinks that already Krishna has given me so much. He's really taking good care of me. Okay, so he's satisfied with whatever he has. He does not hanker for more. He does not cry, oh, I don't have this car. I don't have this house. I don't have so much wealth. I don't have so much property. He's not like that. He's satisfied with whatever Krishna gives. He knows that whatever Krishna gives is for his best. He thinks that if Krishna gives me more, maybe I will forget Krishna, seeing all that wealth and property. So he understands that, okay, yeah, whatever Krishna gives is, he's always satisfied. Austerity and penance. Okay, so there are many actually rules and regulations in the Vedas which apply here. So what like rising early in the morning. So we have to tapas and austerity we have to do, like getting up early in the morning in Brahma Muhurta and taking a bath, attend Mangalarti, do our chanting, read or hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, and then do again our Mangalacharan, and then have prasadam, only prasadam, having prasadam. Okay, like that. So there are some rules and regulations here also, right? We also follow some rules and regulations in ISKCON. Like we follow all those. We don't no illicit sex. No, we don't eat non-veg. Okay, no intoxication. Okay, so all these we follow. So all these are like the austerity and penance that we do. Okay, actually it is not really difficult. I mean, having no tea, coffee, no onion, garlic. Okay, not that difficult at all. Though we may just think it as austerity and tapas, because this Krishna consciousness is actually a blissful process. You know, it's so happy. It's not at all tough. Even Ekadasi fasting also, we fast, but we don't like. It's not like we are starving, right? So we have Ekadasi foods. Okay, so we can happily have prasadam, Ekadasi prasadam. Okay. So next is charity. So as far as charity is concerned, what is Prabhupada saying in the purport? One should give 50% of his earnings to some good cause. So what is the good cause? Just give it to people who are spreading Krishna consciousness. See how we have come into Krishna consciousness is because of someone, right? We ourselves didn't jump in. Someone helped us come to Krishna consciousness through someone's preaching. All of us has come, right? A friend might have suggested you, "Oh, why don't you go to this class or something?" Someone on the road, the devotee was distributing a book, and because of him we got connected. So something, so because of them we got connected. So we should help them. We should give our earnings to such people who are doing book distribution, prasadam distribution, temple construction. Okay, like that. So that is the best kind of charity. We can give 50% of our income to Krishna consciousness. And next, fame, yashaha. A man is famous when he is known as a great devotee. So here we gain fame materially by saying that, oh, he's the biggest CEO, he is the most beautiful person, he is the most strongest. So that yasha is material. It will just fade away one time, because there may be a person who's more beautiful. It's not like permanently he'll be famous, right? Nobody is permanently famous. Okay, but a man is famous when he is known as. But what is true fame? when he's known as a great devotee. Then when someone says that he's a oh wow, he's such a great devotee, he's distributed so many books. And because of the books he distributed, many people have come into Krishna consciousness, which is everlasting. That credit is everlasting for that person. Okay, maybe he just gets the credit just for that moment, but because of distributing those books, how many people will be coming into Krishna consciousness? So it is like an eternal credit for him. So the real being famous is when you become a devotee. Oh, they say, what a great kirtaniya. Oh, what a great cook. They are cooking for Krishna. The cooking is so good. So like that. That is the best part. Okay. Okay. So let's go to the next one. And in charity, I forgot to tell you one point. Generally, charity is done by grihasthas. Okay, grihasthas do charity to the remaining three orders: the brahmachari, the vanaprastha, and sannyasi, because they are totally dedicate their life for preaching Krishna consciousness. Okay, so they grihasthas support them. Okay, through charity. Okay. महर्षयः सप्त पूर्वे चत्वारो मनवस्तथा मद्भावमनसा जाता येषां लोक इमा प्रजा. The seven great sages, and before them the four other great sages, and the Manus, progenitors of mankind, are born out of my mind, and all creatures in these planets descend from them. So, what is Krishna saying here? Is giving the order, like how the living entities have come into this creation. Okay, so he's saying, Prabhupada says in the purport, so Brahma is the first creature born. So he from the Supreme Lord. So he is known as Hiranya Garbha. Okay, and from Brahma, who came first? Sanaka, Sananda, Sanatana, Sanat Kumara. So these are the first four sons of Brahma, and after that the seven. After that the seven great sages. Who are they? We'll see. Okay, okay. They have come, and then the 14 Manus have come. Okay, so all these 25 great sages are known as the patriarchs of the living entities of the overall entire universe. So these 25 people already. So these 25 are responsible for creating progeny. So through them, the remaining entities. So that's why Manu is called the father of mankind. So he's the first father. From him, like all the living entities have come into this universe. Now, okay, so what are they saying? From Brahma came Sanaka, Sananda, Sanatana, and Sanat Kumara, and then who came Rudra, and then the seven sages. And in this way, all the Brahmanas and Kshatriyas are born out of the out of the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Brahma is known as Pitamaha, the grandfather, and Krishna is known as Prapitamaha, the father of the grandfather. Okay, so this is how creation started. Okay, Brahma was created from Brahma, Sanaka, Sananda, and the seven great rishis, and from him the 14, after that 14 Manus, and then from Manu, progeny continued. So Krishna is telling all this happened. This is how the planets and everybody were created. See, Krishna is the source of all. So he is the Prapitamaha, the father of the grandfather. Who is the grandfather? Brahma. So Krishna created Brahma, right? So Pitamaha, he is the grandfather. And Krishna is since he is the father of Brahma, he is Prapitamaha. And who are the 25 patriarchs? We said, so the four Kumaras, who are they? Sanaka, Sanananda, Sanatana, Sanat Kumara. And seven sages are Kashyapa, Atri, Vasishta, Vishwamitra, Gautama, Jamadagni, Bharadwaja. And all the 14 Manus are here. You can see Swayambhuva, Swarachisha, Uttama, Tamasa, Raivata, Chakshusha, Vaivasvata. So now we are presently with the Vaivasvata. Savarni, Daksha Savarni, Brahma Savarni, Dharma Savarni, Rudra Savarni, Deva Savarni, Indra Savarni. Okay. So all these 25 are the main reasons of the living entities, the progeny. Okay. So 10.7 we see. Etam vibhutim yogam cha mama yo veti tattvataha so avikalpena yogena yujyatena atra samshayaha. He who knows in truth this glory and power of mine engages in unalloyed devotional service. Of this there is no doubt. So Krishna is telling that those who know my glory and my power, obviously, right? If we know somebody is great, we obviously bend below, bend to them. Okay, and then we get our work done. So here, in the material world also, if we see a politician and everything, we bow down before him, right? So that he may do whatever we want. I mean, like sanction our work or project or whatever. Okay, so like that, Krishna is telling when he who knows this truth in glory and power of mine, he knows the power. I'm so powerful. He knows all my glories. So he engages in unalloyed devotional service. So when you know somebody is great, you try to serve them. Okay. So here Krishna is saying when they know of my greatness, they engage in my unalloyed. So they don't expect anything from Krishna. They just want to serve Krishna. That's all. Okay, and unalloyed devotional service. Of this, there is no doubt. So Krishna is saying there is no doubt about this. So when somebody knows about my power, automatically they will engage in my unalloyed devotional service. That is for sure. That is what Krishna is saying. Okay, so here Lord speaks. So this Chatushloki I thought we'll take tomorrow. Um, it's a very important shloka. Okay, we just take this. No, we'll start tomorrow only. It's okay. Okay. So for today, we'll stop here only.